So I'm sure more than a few people out there are wondering what I had to say about what happened yesterday at was it Utah Valley University. Charlie Kirk was murdered. He's a political commentator, author, podcaster, all kinds of stuff. He's been at this for a very long time. I believe when he was like 18 or 19 years old, he started Turning Point USA. He co-founded it, and it's been quite a ride. He's a big name in the political sphere, and the reason I think people want to hear what I have to say is because I do say some interesting things on this YouTube channel um, that can be construed as violent threats and other things like that. Bottom line is this: I don't want things to get bad in this country. I don't want things to get to a civil war. I don't want politicians being, in the sidewalks, in the gutters, lying there, and that's the last thing I want. What I'm frustrated with more than anything is politicians that take an oath to the Constitution and then they go right in there and violate that oath. And then I'm very frustrated with the police and the prosecutors and the judges that don't hold these people accountable. So then we have incidents and tragedies like what happened yesterday, where somebody, and I've said this before, nobody's untouchable. Not me, not President Trump, who was also almost killed last year in July, not Charlie Kirk, obviously. And, I hate to say it like this, but the stereotype is the conservative Republican redneck gun nut, and is going to go out there and in their old Dodge or Ford pickup truck and go on a rampage. But in reality, what's actually happened over the years? So, with all that being said, what do I hope comes from this? I hope that Charlie Kirk's messages carry on. I hope that more people know his name now and they're checking out his videos. They're checking out his book, The College Scam. I think that that's a very great piece of writing. It's a topic he hit on a lot of times, and I think more young people need to understand it. That you're being bankrupted and brainwashed if you go to college for the most part. Now, obviously, there are some majors like the healthcare field. I would have said the tech field 2 years ago, but with AI taking over, not so sure about that. But I think it's still worth exploring because somebody's gonna have to take care of the data centers and whatnot. But anyway, oh, by the way, I got this American Eagle shirt on for a good reason. But anyway, Charlie Kirk, it's really sad. A wife and two children lost their husband and father, and some sicko out there decided to be a coward, and that's why I always say, these people with guns are cowards. I'm all about the one-on-one inside of a boxing ring or MMA ring fight, to settle people's differences. But if you got to use a rifle against somebody who you disagree with politically, I was trying to look into it. Like, really, what did Charlie Kirk do? Like, did he hurt anybody? Did he physically hurt anybody? No, he was just expressing his opinion, just like I do, like I've done a million times on this channel, and other channels for that matter. Um, that wasn't the right thing to do, obviously, and to the person that did it, I hope you, I hope that the cruel and unusual punishment amendment is ignored, because quite frankly, this country has gone soft on criminals. It's actually another big part of my platform, as far as my opinions that I talk about on here. I really think that these heinous criminals, they get away with a lot of things because they have no fear of the consequences. Oh, they're going to go to prison for life. Oh my goodness, they're going to go to prison for life. So you're telling me taxpayers are going to pay $60,000 a year to house feed, medicate, provide health care services to this heinous individual? I still talk about the Parkland shooter here and there. That guy killed 14 people, and he got away with it as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to go into. My head's starting to hurt talking about this, but no. If you disagree with somebody, You don't kill that person. That's sick. Now, if somebody's out there, obviously going on a rampage, yeah, at that point, you have a right to kill that person because they're killing other people or hurting other people. But don't be going and just because you disagree with somebody, you kill them. That's no, no. In fact, I hope that whoever did that, I hope they don't get their name publicized everywhere. But unfortunately, that will happen um, if they get caught. That's the other thing, man. How did they get away with it? How did they get away from the scene of the crime? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like I said, if you don't want his death to be in vain, go through his old videos, Turning Point USA, go through his old messages on X, Twitter, Facebook, Turning Point USA memes. I don't agree with everything he has to say. I don't agree with everything most people have to say. I don't agree with myself, 365 days from now. But you know what? I don't go around harming people. Even people that violate my rights. I don't go around harming them. Now, I do wish they would get arrested. And I have in the past said, if you're not going to do it, I will. I'm willing and able to. Just step away from me. But, that kind of rhetoric gets the police at my house. So all these people saying, oh, Charlie Kirk's really not dead. You people are fools. What proof do you have? And they say, what proof do you have that he actually died? A video from multiple angles of people in attendance and blood squirting out of the guy's neck. How about that proof, you a-holes? People are so ridiculous, man. Go chase your UFOs and your Bigfoots and your and your ghosts. Like, seriously. Am I talking to like 12-year-olds? It's a possibility. All these faceless people on the internet in the comments section with no videos on their own YouTube channels. Not worth my time.